Hi, I'm Steve, and on this channel, I tell you about interesting things related to our world and beyond. Today, we'll explore, could you walk through the center of the Earth? Here goes. Imagine standing on the surface of Earth, holding a shovel and deciding, you know what? I'm going to walk through the center of the planet. Easy, right? Just dig a hole, walk down, wave at the molten core, and pop out on the other side like a confused potato. Well, not exactly. The first problem hits you about a meter down. You're no longer dealing with soft dirt and roots. No, soon enough, you're up against layers of solid rock that don't exactly care about your adventurous spirit. After a few kilometers, your walk turns into more of a desperate excavation project. And just in case you thought it couldn't get worse, spoiler, it can. As you descend deeper into the Earth, the temperature starts to climb fast. By the time you reach about 10 kilometers, the heat is already unbearable, like walking into a sauna built inside an oven. At 30 kilometers down, it's so hot that steel would start to soften. At 100 kilometers, you're basically baking alive. And at 2,000 kilometers, near the outer core, temperatures can reach more than 4,000 degrees Celsius. That's hotter than the surface of Mercury. So unless your skin is made of dragon scales and your shoes are forged from the heart of a star, you're not making it through. But let's be generous. Let's pretend you have an indestructible heat suit, infinite oxygen, and a playlist that lasts longer than your lifespan. What happens then? Well, you still have gravity to deal with. As you descend, gravity starts pulling you downward, faster and faster. But once you pass the halfway point, gravity flips. Suddenly, instead of falling toward the center, it's pulling you back toward where you came from. You'd end up floating weightlessly in the exact center of the Earth, stuck like a confused astronaut in a boiling hot zero-gravity sauna. And then there's the pressure. The deeper you go, the more Earth tries to crush you into a human pancake. At the core, the pressure is over 3.5 million times the pressure at the surface. It's like having 1,000 fully loaded freight trains stacked on your head. Even with an indestructible suit, your body would be under constant, unimaginable stress. If walking felt easy at the start, here it would feel like trying to do yoga inside a collapsing star. But let's say you're stubborn. You keep going. You reach the inner core, a dense iron ball almost the size of the moon. It's solid, not because it's cold, but because the pressure is so enormous, it forces iron to stay rigid, even at thousands of degrees Celsius. And there you are, standing in the center of the Earth, surrounded by pure metal and crushing heat. Not exactly a great vacation spot. Now, you might think, okay, but what if I could keep walking and pop out on the other side? That's adorable. Once you pass the center, gravity starts pulling you backward, meaning every step becomes a fight. Unless you have rocket boosters on your shoes, you'd basically be running uphill through liquid metal. And let's not forget the molten outer core. It's like trying to swim through a glowing river of lava that wants you dead. But fine, suppose you're a superhero. You push through, fighting gravity, pressure, and physics itself. You finally reach the other side of the planet. You crawl out of the ground, covered in sweat, magma, and emotional trauma. You look around and realize you've just tunneled into someone's backyard. Congratulations, you're now an international incident. Interestingly, if there really were a straight tunnel through the Earth and you jumped into it, you wouldn't just fall all the way to the other side. You'd oscillate. First, gravity would pull you down faster and faster. Then, after passing the core, gravity would slow you down again until you stopped for a brief, awkward second at the other end. And then you'd fall back. You'd bounce back and forth like a human yo-yo, losing energy each time due to air resistance and friction, until you finally came to rest in the middle, hovering weightlessly in the molten core, slowly regretting all your life choices. In theory, if there were no air and no friction, your journey through Earth will take about 42 minutes. That's less than most flights across a continent. Just don't expect an in-flight snack or a bathroom break. So, could you walk through the center of the Earth? Technically, no. Realistically, also no. But imagining it does teach us something incredible. Our planet isn't just a ball of rock, it's a living, dynamic machine with crushing pressures, unimaginable heat, and a core that never stops moving. And maybe, just maybe, the next time you're walking down the street and you complain about the heat, you'll be grateful you're not 6,000 kilometers underground, melting like butter in the middle of a very angry planet.